Freedom is free speech. Freedom is living life without force. And freedom is Jesus and through his salvation. Staying in reality. We're not super women. We are human beings, and we have to just, Monday, take it day by day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Focus on God, your purpose every day, check in with each other, and pivot. Because our world is so overcommitted, it's crazy. Whether that's a micro thing, whether that's signing up for therapy to help you talk about future goals and help you get unstuck, do it.
Hi, and welcome to another episode and another season of the Woman Witness podcast on the Woman Witness TV network. I'm your host, Leah Fortier. Here on this platform, we bring to you voices of women that are out there making a positive impact in their lives, in their family, and the community around them. Women of resilience, women who have battled through something, women who are strong enough, old enough to turn around, grab the hand of another sister, and be a witness. Our guest today is a powerhouse of purpose, Maria Manfredi. She is a devoted wife, homeschooling mom, a 3-time business founder, a serial entrepreneur, and a writer who's rewriting the rules to modern motherhood. Maria walked away from a conventional path and built a life on her own terms. Now she's helping other moms do the same, boldly and unapologetically. She has been featured in MSN News, named one of the top 15 entrepreneurs of 2024, spotlighted in the NYC Journal, and honored in the 40 Under 40 list. She also hosts the Warrior Worship podcast and leads as a CEO of the Manfredi's Consulting Group. Maria is here to talk real about building faith, raising a family, creating wealth, and living free. Let's get into it. Hey, Maria, welcome to the well. How are you?
Hi, Leah. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Maria, you are doing so much, and you are letting you are, as I said, rewriting what modern motherhood looks like today. And I'm so grateful for you doing that and then going back out and sharing it with other women. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a calling definitely from the Lord. And I've learned a lot from going from corporate America to having my son in daycare to then I was blessed to have a daughter 10 years later to where, I don't really want to put my daughter in daycare this time, And so I had to find a way with the Lord, said, Lord, please make this happen if this is meant to be.
So here we are.
Yes, exactly.
Look, as we said before you press record, look, Lord, have your way. We trust you. Your ways are better, far better than our own, right?
Exactly.
Let me ask you. So you've worn many hats, from being an entrepreneur, a mom, a wife, a homeschooler, a writer. What's the story behind it all? How'd you get started?
Yeah, so the story is just my faith has carried me through all the hardship in my life. I've been divorced. I've lost my father when I was a sophomore in college from cancer. My mom suffers from a mental disorder that's debilitating to where she can't be in our life right now. And so every step of the way, let me back up a little bit. I was also on food stamps in high school, and we lived in Section 8 housing. And it was an eye-opening experience as far as like, how do you deal with that? And I always, even as a little girl, just leaned on my faith. But I kept that really personal. I kept that secret, I guess. And so the older I got and I got to my Jesus year, 33, I thought, man, how are people surviving right now? Post COVID, post everything, the world is on fire. And I'm like, I got to share this. I got to share my glimpse. And I know the Lord tells us to share, right?
Yeah.
We are a testimony to Jesus, but I guess I was kind of scared, like,
yeah.
I want to be like, oh, you're a Christian, so you need to be perfect. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
So
Thank God.
yeah, that's that's what kind of made me feel like, okay, the Holy Spirit was working in me. You need to share. I was, okay, Lord, give me a platform. So I was able to become a contributor at AmericanMom.com, and that's been a blessing. And then just being able to be on an amazing podcast like yours, and just one thing after another. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me just figure out how to share this. So that's where I'm here to help bring the moms out of the matrix.
I know. I kind of felt like it was just like 1 minute we were stuck in the house. We were, as you said, during the pandemic. And then all of a sudden you're like, get back out there now. You're like, wait a minute. I am
right. That's a good point. Like, I want to remind those moms, remember when we had to homeschool, we were kind of forced to do it.
Yeah.
Even in Florida.
Yeah.
And the kid, I think my son was third grade, and he had almost 6 hours worth of classes and things like that. Homeschool only takes maybe an hour. And so that's also kind of why I was a little bit nervous to start homeschool, because I have a lot of some homeschool friends, not all my friends homeschool. Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't think I could do that again. That was pretty traumatic, because I also worked at home, and then we were required to be on meetings all day. So it was like double work for us moms, and there was no blueprint.
No.
So I was like, okay, go back to school. And then my son entered middle school. And so that's when I started to see things change a little bit from when we were in school to now, and how there's influence outside the church that it was really confusing. My son would come home and I would have to unschool him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
We have some beliefs in our house that we hold dear, because that's what Jesus tells us. And then school, he's learning other things. So yeah, it was one thing after another. And I think there's 2 tipping points. There was one that the superintendent said, we're going to have all the kids go to school on Veterans Day. And it was a makeup hurricane day, but they could have picked any other day, but they decided that day. And so November 12th was when I started homeschooling, because I felt like if we're not honoring our history and those who fight for us, because my dad was in the military, my brother's in active duty, I felt that was just the line in the sand. And because a lot of my friends that aren't homeschooling, they're like, so what was it? What was the catalyst? And I'm like, it was just these little micro moments, just building. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's where we're at.
I love it. And I love your passion. I'm sorry. I feel your passion. And I always feel, I always tell people, when sometimes we like think, what's our passion? Oh God, what's my purpose? That thing that gets you fired up, that thing that gets you to bust a move is what I love to say. That is your passion and your purpose, because I feel it. And I don't blame you, but goodness gracious, I still need some help in the homeschooling ministry. Okay.
Yeah, I feel it. I know it. I've been there. Yeah. I'm not saying every day is perfect either. And yeah, I'll share more tips later, but.
So what made you walk away from that conventional path, and how did you know it was time?
Yeah, great question. So I started my career right out of college, and I was so thankful and lucky to just start a career in medical device industry, and it was a job working complaints. So I'll take whatever job I can to get in there. Because when I married my first husband, he's like, okay, I really need you to work. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to spend time away from my baby, I'm going to make it count. I was actually pregnant when I walked the stage, graduating college with my bachelor's. So I was like, okay, I want to put it to use. And so I had a friend, and so I started working for a medical device company locally in town. And that's really the catalyst to my career. And corporate America has its pros. I think, having benefits and stock shares and those things, it's great. But I also remember carrying I was pregnant, I just had Joseph when I started. He was 4 months old.
Yeah.
So I remember saying to my supervisor, I said, okay, where's the breast pump room? and I had my breast pump on my shoulder. And she's like, oh, it's in the other building. And then I had a meeting in 30 minutes. And I'm like, well, how am I going to make this work? It just wasn't, it was kind of
I remember.
like they check the box, but they're not thinking. So I remember bringing my bag into the bathroom and you hear,
yeah.
And I remember my coworker going, really? You're pumping in the bathroom? That's so sad. Like, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know? And so eventually my milk dried up and that was kind of sad, but I think you just kind of accept it and you just kind of move on. And then I became a single mom during my tenure there. I was there for 5 years. And so I was going through my divorce and everything like that. And that was pretty traumatic. But then I got the news that my job was being outsourced to overseas. So they were able to pay someone less to do what we do. And this was around the time of software engineering was kicking up and lean methods and things like that. Yeah. So I kind of saw the writing on the walls. Anyways, I applied to every job open in that company. And I remember going to my boss and looking her in the eye. I said, please tell me this rumor. Please just tell me the truth.
Not work, yeah.
Tell me if we're actually going to get laid off or not. And I remember her just looking me straight in the eye and lying to me. And I already knew it was from it was someone higher up that told me personally what was going to happen. And so I said, all right. I was like, I'm a single mom, right? Like one income, like this is it. Yeah. And I come from humble beginnings. I can't call my mom or dad and ask for money. That was it. This is my lifeline. So I just was like, all right. So I just put my boots to the ground and then I was like, okay, I got to find something else. So I went to another medical device company in town. So that was a great opportunity. But that ended up being a nightmare. So I come from a flexible environment. You get to work from home a couple days a week, which me and the moms fought for. So if our kids were sick, we could stay home. I feel like this is a long story long, but it paints the picture. So I ended up working for a company that was actually German based. And so in that culture, from what I understand from my experience, it's very regimented. So you have to understand that I go from a salary to clocking in, and the money is good. It was consistent, but I remember being a minute late and getting reprimanded. And I'm thinking, you have no idea what I've had to do this morning. I've had to drop off and get ready. And then I got to pick up my son after work and cook and all those things.
Yeah.
So after a while, they would ding me for just 1 minute here, 1 minute there. And they just were like, okay, well, we're going to write you up. And I'm like, I am too old for this.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Like, okay, I'm excelling. I'm meeting all the things I need to do.
Right.
Not a good fit for me. I had a lot of friends that ended up going into consulting. I said, what is that? And they're like, pretty much it's just freelancing contract work and you get to work from home full time. I was like, what? Sign me up.
Right.
Yeah. So I found a friend, she got me in, and that was the beginning of me consulting and starting. But I worked for a firm. So kind of the same thing, kind of that corporate culture, climb that ladder. And I think eventually I just got tired of it. And eventually I was like, okay, maybe I can go out and find my own contracts and my own people. And of course you build your networks the longer you go in your career.
Right.
So that's what I did. I took a leap of faith in 2022. And I started my own corporation consulting firm, and I have not looked back since. Has it been hard? Have I had times where I'm in between clients? Sure.
Yeah.
But I have ways that I've been able to work around that. And that's what I want to share with the audience too. Because it's not just consulting freelance for medical device. It could be anything: virtual assistant, customer service, AI test bots, like AI. There's so much with AI right now. We can really hone in on these side hustles right now and take advantage of it. And another thing that I want to touch on is that God has given us a tool, just like God gave manna to the Israelites. He has given us ChatGPT. Okay. ChatGPT is a tool that we need to utilize, ladies. Yeah, I cannot tell you how many friends I'm like, who's a real estate agent. Oh, wait, you don't use ChatGPT? How do you, that's just a way, you're spending hours where you shouldn't be.
Right.
I wish ChatGPT existed 10 years ago. I wrote a clinical evaluation report, which I know most people don't know what that means, but it takes 6 months. I wrote it in 6 weeks with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We have to utilize our tools, and I want to share that with us. And it's a free tool too. So you can upgrade, but then there's a free tool. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, we're going to touch on a lot of these great. Okay. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I want to talk about how your faith has influenced your journey. I hear you talking and I hear your journey, right? And I kind of feel like God closed these doors. He's like, I need you to move, right? He doesn't want us to get comfortable in a place that he doesn't want us to be in, right? So tell us, how has your faith influenced your life as a wife, a mother, a business owner?
It's been everything. And I think when you look back on how God's moved in your life, you're like, oh, I get it. So for example, I was telling you about how my dad had cancer in college and I had to work in college to be able to pay for my rent and things like that. Well, I ended up getting an office job at a law firm. And guess what year it was? 2008, the big recession.
Yep.
So guess what God did? He gave me overtime.
Come on.
I'm serious. And I remember having so much overtime, I couldn't even work those hours because I had class. So,
Wow.
and of course, the law firm, and I didn't plan this, God did. It was a debt collection law firm. So, of course, unfortunately, when the recession happened, a lot of people were struggling to pay. Yeah. And I actually love talking to those clients. I'm like, okay, we'll make a payment plan. Don't worry. And they allowed us to be kind to them. And I think that also helped. And then I had to take time off from my dad passed and I didn't have any benefits or PTO or anything. And the company gave me a week paid to take time off. And so things like that. So that's when I'm in those hardships now, which I've experienced in this kind of downturn, inflation and transition of power and things like that. Yeah. I think a lot of companies are scared, just waiting to see what happens with regulation. So there was a lull last year. I had 4 months and it was like crickets. And I remember telling my husband, I was like, I have to trust in the Lord. And like, he provided for us then, or me then. I said, I know it. And I get,
I literally same.
I was like, I know he's going to pull through. And then I just sat in the faith. Yeah. I fasted, really leaning into that. Yeah. And not saying that was perfect. There's many times, sometimes you're like, okay, Lord, I'm getting impatient here. Yeah. Because I was used to with this type of career and how lucrative it is. I was driving my dream car. I had a Lexus. I had, I still have a housekeeper. I don't get my nails done as much, but just luxuries in life that you're like, ooh, Lord, but can I keep that? Right. And so he said no. So we're down to one vehicle in our household. And you know what? Now that everything's leveled out and now we're still on that lean level, that budget. Yeah. I was like, we stay there now. And it's like kind of refreshing because then you get like, oh, well, duh, that was the Lord's money. I should have been tithing more. And so now I'm like, okay, tithing and things like that. So it's just interesting how when you lean back and you trust God, where he moves and what you can sacrifice, because our treasures are stored up in heaven, not here. So but it's a daily reminder for me because I'm a consumer. I love nice things. Yeah. I come from nothing. I didn't get to have those luxuries, but now I'm like, but now I'm ready. Yeah. But that was the most humbling thing is I was like, no, I'll just sell my Lexus. I'd rather do that than try to go back to a corporate job and put Bella in daycare. I couldn't do it. So I said, trust the Lord.
Yes, I love that. Trust the Lord, lean not on our own understandings. And you're right, it is hard. But I love one thing that you said. I just wanted to highlight being able to sacrifice those things. I think that's what God wants us to like really realize is that, like you said, it's not mine, it's yours. Can I give this up? And I think that is a humbling place, and God needs to know that he can trust us.
Yeah, it took a while to feel that. Like I said, I wanted to make up for all those years missed that I wasn't able to get things and drive the nice cars. I used to be so embarrassed of the cars we used to drive. I used to make my mom drop me off like 3 blocks my friend's house. Yeah. But I look back on that now, I'm like, oh, that was so silly, like it's all good. Like it humbles us. Yeah. But yeah. So I want to touch on, okay, so let's say if our audience, they're not owning their own firm, or what can they do? Yeah. Okay, Maria, sounds good. You're homeschooling. You get to work remote. Good for you. So how do we get there? So you can go on freelance websites, and they're not paying me right now to say this. So you can go to Fiverr.com. There's other ones like that. I've had most success on Fiverr. And there's ways where you can look and see, okay, what's your niche? What's the competitors charging? price a little bit lower, put your ad out there and just start your hustle. And then we have tools, like I said, ChatGPT, where you can help write the gig and go from there. I mean, it could be anything. And then I was noticing on Indeed too, there's a lot of contract roles for various different things.
Yeah.
Like I said, testing software, virtual assistant jobs, things like that. So it was a point where while I was kind of working, I was looking at those hustles. So I started my Fiverr, I believe. It was actually during that downturn when I was at that company, that first company. My page, it says established like 2016 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny how God placed that nugget, because I was trying to do something with like PR or something like that. And it never came to fruition. Probably didn't have time being a single mom, but I already had it established. So when I was like, oh, ding, like, let me go back on there, then I was able to get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. And I did see on your website, you do have a link to your Fiverr account.
Yes.
Which is good, because I know that, I use it sometimes, and I know I look for longevity. I look for, your ratings. I look to see what you have done in the past, because it makes a huge difference, especially when you're working with a vendor that you don't know and you're not familiar with. I want to talk to you about that a little bit more if we can go into building for the moms who may perhaps they're homeschooling, they're entrepreneurs, and they're both a full-time job, right? And they have this idea. How do they? I know you said go to Fiverr, but how do they really get started? I have this idea. I don't really know where to go. Can I go and just like throw it into Fiverr and say, hey, I want to start a business? Do I contact you? How is the best way to get started?
It's free. So Fiverr's free. So let's say you go on there, and let me say, look for a gap on Fiverr. All right. So if we type in logo maker, there's a million people that are offering logo making. Try to find that niche that you actually enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So for example, I'm in the United States. There's a lot of cosmetic companies. So I was like, okay, well, and I looked, okay, was there a cosmetic reviewer person? And there was one other person, and she was in Canada. I was like, bingo, like,
there you
here
go.
we go. Here's my opportunity. So then I built my portfolio kind of based on that. But then also, here's the thing, whatever niche you're in, let's say you're in HR. Do they need to have procedures written? Let's say, what skill set do you have? I mean, it can be anything. And then let's say if you have a product idea, like maybe you're not into the freelancing thing, but I started a candle company a couple years ago. And what I did was I went on Google Analytics, which is a free tool that you're able to look to see what people are searching and the trends.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, are there any essential oil candles out there? Google that. And then are people demanding it? So then you compare, okay, what's out there in the market? What can I create that fills that gap? So let's concentrate on filling the gap using your talents, what God has taught you so far. Find your niche and just start. Stop thinking about perfection. We are so used to, as women, oh, but it has to be perfect. No, it doesn't. No one's looking at your gig saying, oh, there's a typo, or why do you have that silly picture on there? Like, it's like, just go for it. And then you can tweak it. And that's what I love about Fiverr is you can go on there and edit your gig. You can delete the photo. You can add whatever. You can charge whatever you want. So keep in mind, there are fees that are associated with, but for me, they actually help me gain clients.
Yeah.
So I've actually generated long-term clients from Fiverr. So, because they end up Googling me and they say, okay, well, let's just work together on this. And I'm like, okay. Because you can't solicit them on Fiverr.
Right.
But so that's just kind of where I started. And then reaching out to friends who have actually started their own businesses. Yeah. Whether it's small or big, LLC or S Corp. And I think that's another item I wanna show people, or I'll write a ebook or something like, how do I know LLC versus S Corp? And why did Maria go S Corp and LLC? Those questions all the time. I had a girlfriend that started her own sourdough business. She's like, I don't even know where to begin. And I'm not a CPA. This is not financial advice. It's just based on my experience. Right. That with LLCs, it's based on an income threshold. So if you plan on making $50,000 or less, probably LLC is good. It's super flexible. With S Corp, it just gets a little bit more stickier, but it's better from a taxation reason that if you make a lot more money, then you won't have as much tax taken out, or,
Yeah.
obviously your own accountant, but that's kind of how I figured we worked on the numbers based on what the client was willing to pay. And it was a 12-month contract that I was on, and went with that. So
Yeah, no, this is all great information. I mean, and from what I hear, more or less what you're saying is to get started, because you're right. We spend so much time overthinking the little things that we never get started.
yeah, that was actually advice from a friend of mine. She's like, just start, even with the homeschooling stuff. Cause I was like, well, how do I know I'm doing the right curriculum? Or how do I know, it's just,
Yeah.
so I just researched and talked to friends, and I was like, okay, so I started on the 12th, and then you don't have to have your curriculum all perfect. You do have to follow your own state laws and regulations and email the district if that's what you need to do, but it should be on the website for the district that you're in on how to homeschool, because the demand for homeschool, the moms that are homeschooling, it's huge. Like,
It's huge.
5 years ago, when I was on the baseball field and talking to other moms, nobody was homeschooling.
No.
I'm like, that's kind of like far-fetched, right?
Yeah.
And then yesterday we were at a game, and I was talking to some of the moms, and half of them homeschool the boys. And I'm like, wow, what a change. And something that as women we can realize is that we can homeschool around our cycle. So what that means is, on my menstruation week, okay, let's get real here.
We're
Retire. All right. I
I
can
love it.
homeschool from the couch, and I can work from my couch with my laptop.
Yeah.
And I can just kind of, okay, let's slow down this week. Let's not go overzealous and do 5 field trips and all this extra stuff.
Right.
So that's been a huge game changer, because I think corporate America, we always have to have that masculine energy. It's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, every week. Maybe we get 1 week off or a couple weeks off. It's not built for women who menstruate, who have young children.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it,
wow,
that's just reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. I mean, and then you're like, oh, well, I only have so many PTO sick days. Do I call out because my menstrual's really bad? Or do I save that sick day so just in case, because I know it's my kids are in daycare, it's spring season, allergies. I'm going to just anticipate my kid getting sick. What do we do?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, say it again. You were absolutely right. Right. And then it leads to bigger issues, more complicated issues, especially with women not being able to take care of themselves and get to their own doctor's appointments. Oh, yes. We go on and on. I want to ask you, how do you manage it all without that burnout?
Yeah, I get that a lot. And I have to admit that I have burnout many times. And even like when we first started homeschooling, I was like, okay, I want to do all these things because I was so excited. So I think our second day we went downtown on a field trip and took the kids around. But it's really just building a proper schedule in reality.
Yeah.
So staying in reality. We're not super women. We are human beings, and we have to just, okay, take it day by day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So what I will share on my website is I'm going to put my schedule, my weekly schedule, the daily schedule, just as a template. So these moms can start, okay, well, how does she do it? So this is our structure. And so we break it down. So let's say my husband goes to Bible study Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph's not going to start school until he gets back because I need his help with Bella. And by that, but guess what? He gets to learn how to cook eggs in the morning. I don't always make him change, diapers or anything like that, but it's just, it's that understanding, okay, what's going on in our family day to day, and talking and communicating over coffee and making sure we're supporting each other. So let's say the other day we had so much going on, work, homeschool, everything. And my son had a practice, but it was optional.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I was like, we have to stick with our family goals right now. And I just need you home tonight because I need to do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, trust me, you're not going to miss out being an MLB player because you missed one optional practice. And we'll make up for it later in the week. I'm very real, very, very honest. He got it. And so I think it's just being focused on God, your purpose every day, check in with each other and pivot. And don't just because our world is so overcommitted. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I had to push back on a client today and it felt uncomfortable. I honestly wanted to do whatever he was asking me to do. And I'm like, hi, my plate's already full.
Yeah.
I wanted to say yes so bad, but I was like,
Yeah.
I just talked to my husband about them. My plate's full. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't do that, but I can review the document later, something like that. So it's just like
Yeah.
being comfortable with the uncomfortable and saying no. And
Absolutely.
I think too, the self-care piece, which I think you were wanting to talk about, or you just mentioned something
No,
about
yeah, just
self-care online.
talk about that. And you're
Okay.
absolutely
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
I have to make sure I schedule in self-care because I will forget. And I'm sure many of us can relate to that. And it sounds kind of sad, but at the same time, we want to be needed. We want to be there for our kids. And I know exactly what my daughter's saying. She has her own toddler language, and I know she wants the cheese, but not the whole cheese. She wants it cut up in stars and things like that. But we have to let that go. So on Saturdays, I ask my husband to take the kids, even if it's just for an hour or two, so I can either take a bath, nap, or do an art project. Because if I don't fill my cup and like, especially with my job, it can be very dry. It's like I have that energy. I need to just have time. So it's having that supportive husband and partner that really makes or breaks the situation too. Because as a single mom, I have to admit, my self-care was maybe when my son was in school and I would take a lunch break to go get my nails done or something. It was just like
Yeah.
wasn't available. And then when my son would go to his dad's house, I would be like, I'm so tired. I'm just going to sleep. I'm just going to go to bed early on a Wednesday night or something like that. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard, ladies. I mean, even the other night, just putting eye mask on while I'm cooking. Just
like, come on, sitting back watching the Netflix and chill.
Yeah. And
giving yourself permission to do that.
Yeah, we couldn't afford the renovation on our bathroom. We have a new build. It's beautiful, but they only put showers in. I'm a bath girl. I don't know about you. I love that.
Love that.
So we found this bathtub on Wayfair, and it's a claw tub. It's super cute. So we put it in the shower, and that is my solace. I also don't let the kids play in my bedroom.
Yeah,
this is my solace. This is where I do my Bible study. This is where I relax. This is our husband wife time. All that stuff. So like those boundaries, I keep hearing myself talk about the boundaries with yourself, with others, and I'm still working on it. It's a daily practice.
Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. I love that you just said that about the boundaries. For many years, and I don't know about you, but I am not with the folding industry, and the laundry is not my calling. So I get to it when I get to it. But I used to put everything, clean clothes, mind you guys, okay? Clean clothes, but I would keep them all in my room. And I would tell myself, you're going to fold these every night, Leah. And I got to the point that I'm like, I'm not even going in there.
I feel that 100%.
Not even going in there. And that's not the way to live. You can't, it's not. You have to give yourself a little bit of, as you said, time and solitude and peace in your own room, in your own space.
Yes. Dump them on the couch, honey. Let the kids do it. But I'm so guilty of my husband. I told him, I'm right there with you. I said, I'm not meant to fold clothes. I can wash clothes, but I'm going to have to pass that to you. I'm also terrible at cleaning, so I'm going to outsource that, but at a sacrifice for something else. Like we talked about, I love thrift shopping. I get most of my clothes from thrift stores, and I love that. And so it's that balance. But yeah, I think it's being honest with your strengths. Yeah,
I love it. Okay, I want to talk to you. You have a 12-year-old and you have a 2-year-old. I want to talk to you. How do you teach your children about entrepreneurship and faith and the way that it sticks and works together?
Yeah, so my son, I have him a lot of the time sit in my office and listen to my calls. And then a lot of the times I'll tell him about the scenario that I'm in. And so I could just kind of live, I live my life out loud, and I let him say, oh, wow, mom. And sometimes I say, well, what would you do in that situation? Yeah. And what makes it right or wrong? Or, because sometimes certain people want to cut corners in life and work. And so, so that's that. And it's funny how your spirit of entrepreneurship kind of rubs off on your children. So my son is like, okay, I have this business idea. I'm like, okay, let's explore it. Like, what do you think? And so he wants to start his own lawn business and things like that. So I'm like, okay, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's
Starting to rub off. And, for my daughter, she's so young, but she's so cute. She'll get her little fake VTech laptop and she'll go, I work. She'll be her cell phone. I have a picture. I have to post it on Instagram after this. Seriously, a picture of her on her fake cell phone and laptop just going. I'm like, okay, you go hustle, girl. You
yes. Oh my gosh, Elda, it makes me so excited. And you're absolutely right, because kids are watching us. They are watching us more than we think, and they're watching everything you do. And I'm so sorry. I'm just like blown away with your son wanting to start his own business. How about that?
Yeah, he's a go-getter, but I think being a product of a single mom, he just knows, okay, nobody's coming to rescue me on earth, like right now, like financially. So I need to go out there and just do something for myself. He's just kind of built different. And even my friends tell me that. But yeah, I think just watching me, and he has that passion. I think that's also, you have to understand your kid's strengths. When you homeschool, my son's very independent. So you have to keep in mind, okay, if I'm going to homeschool my kids, which one is going to need me more? So another mom friend shared this tip yesterday, and I want to share it. Yeah. So one of her kids is very hyper and just can't focus when all the other kids are awake. So she has to get up early around 6:30, which sounds horrific, but 6:30 to 8 a.m. to help him homeschool and really get that one-on-one time. But guess what? Once he's done for the day. So he can wiggle all he wants and go play. Yeah. And the other two can actually focus. But I'm so proud of her for figuring that out. God. And then you're thinking, oh my gosh, like, well, when do I rest? When do I nap? A lot of the times, I don't know how old, it's, everybody's kids are different ages, but I try to nap during lunch, or my husband, he's very crazy calendar schedule. He's on meetings all day, but I get that 1 hour, and he works from home too. So I said, I'm napping. Run. So sometimes I'll be like, I'll drink a protein shake and I'll take that nap, because I think even yesterday I woke up at 6:30 a.m. and it's like, you can't think about how long our days are. 6:30, and then it's 6:30 at dinner time. And then, we're talking about 14, 15, 16-hour days. It's a lot. So you got to find those times of rest. And I think when you get to work from home and your homeschool, you're less burnout because you're not commuting as much. You're not stretching yourself so thin and being with people all day in the face. Yeah. Kind of, I can't believe it. It's like acting almost every day. Like, you're around people you don't really like all the time, and you're dealing with personality. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. They become your family. Honestly, you're there with them all the time.
Their problems become your problems. Yeah. And then you're sitting there like worried about Jack Sue's nephew. Who's, I can't. I can't. That's the beauty of being home in your own unit. The peace, I'm telling you, y'all, the peace that we feel homeschooling and being home and working from home. Oh man. The noise is just it's gone.
You're able to manage it all. Give us another homeschooling tip.
Research your state, research your curriculum. There's so many options out there. I know we touched base on schooling around your cycle. Mm-hmm. Another thing is, what's helped me be successful is on Sundays we meal prep. And you probably hear that, oh, I don't want to meal prep or whatever. Yeah. But it's something as simple as I boil eggs and we might grill some chicken. And so that way I have lunch and things, because, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't plan for lunch. Yeah. I didn't plan for dinner. But guess what? We're on a budget. Yeah. So I can't just go eat out and grab this amazing organic restaurant in town. I love their food, but it's expensive. $20 a plate. Like, who right now the inflation is crazy, and I can't even believe I just said eggs. Like, eggs are expensive too.
I know. How many eggs are you boiling?
But we definitely prep on Sundays, and we talk on Sundays, and we communicate about our next our week coming up and what's going on. So Mondays are so crazy. It's like work for him, for me. My son has baseball from 3 to 5. Who can do that? Who made this stuff up? Like, everybody works, right? Like, it's insane, the expectation, right? Yeah. If I wasn't home, I wouldn't be able to do it. Sometimes we have to tag team. So my husband will take the kids and I'll be able to stay home and work those 2 hours. But for me, I chose the kids' game over work, and that's just moving forward. Because so many times I've worked late nights, I've sacrificed dinners, I've sacrificed games, I've That's great, but we are not the hero. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. Your children are going to remember that forever.
Yeah.
And so, that's just kind of like, where are your priorities? You have to think about that.
I love that. And you're absolutely right. I think that's great planning ahead. So I'll just tell you guys this little thing. Even with podcasts, I wrote 17 books, thank God. And God, he allowed me to do that. But even with podcasting, I probably record anywhere between 4 to 8 podcasts a week.
Wow.
But I'm able to do it on my own schedule. And there are times where I can spread out my schedule a little bit longer, but I don't have to sacrifice those moments with your children. So anyways, I think that's a great little nugget for us all to hold on to. Okay, you talk about freedom. And I want you to tell us, what does freedom look like to you? And how has it evolved over time?
Yeah, freedom is the ability to choose. Freedom is free speech. Freedom is living life without force. And freedom is Jesus and through his salvation. So I really did not appreciate my freedom until
That's good.
When I was a single mom and I was able to utilize the court system. And I know it's not perfect for everyone, and I know there's hardship, and I know there's problems, and just hear me out. I was able to use my own money, utilize the court system, get the custody that needed to happen, and exercise my rights. And that's when I knew, okay, there's something here for us. Like, I can at least exercise. It's not perfect. The judicial system is not perfect, but I can. So that's a little nugget. I can utilize the system. Okay, moving on. Living life. And then 2020. Wait, we can't leave our houses. Wait, we can't go to the store. We have to wear the masks. Oh my gosh. And I'm just thinking, okay, this is normal. Like, things are going to change and get back to normal. It just never went back to normal.
Never went back to normal.
It doesn't feel normal. Everything feels accelerated. So that's when and I think what really killed me was we couldn't go to church on Easter. And I still remember that. And I thought, wow, that I took that for granted. Cause sometimes I'm like, I just want to watch it at home. Cause now we can watch church.
Watch everything at home now.
Just bag my coffee, stay in my PJs, which we do quite frequently. I don't want to guilt trip anyone, especially with little ones and things like that. If you're sick, whatever. But I'm just saying there's something different about being in a room full of worshiping others of Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is president. Well, yeah. Present, you know what I mean? Because when there's two or more gathered, he is there, and right now with us. And so yeah, that's what it means to me, is like protecting those rights and being able to say, okay, I think freedom of religion is a part of our Constitution. So I think I should be able to exercise that freedom. And so I'm pretty passionate about that. And freedom to choose from homeschooling or not, freedom to work or not. Women, we love to work or we don't want to work, but let us choose, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way you put that. Mm-hmm. I love the way you put that. It's our choice. It's our choice to do whatever it is that you want to do, whatever this God is telling you to do. And I'm sorry, you just said something that I'm having the ability to go into the church house is amazing. It's something that I agree with you. I never want to lose again, even though I am one of those, well, I'm not gonna lie. And you are baseball mom. Mm-hmm. I'm like, is every tournament on a Sunday? Like,
my God.
Like, what is going on right now?
It'll be like Sunday, 8-1 tournament or something. Yeah. I'm like, sorry, can't go.
Yeah. Right. And you don't know if you're really going to be there from like 8 to 10 or, so I'm a part of that baseball mom situation, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for it. So thank you for bringing that up. It made me feel better. So yes, ladies, don't walk around in shame. If you got to jump on it, jump on it. But I'm glad, like you said, we have the freedom of that choice to go.
Yes,
if we want to. Okay, before I let you out of here, I want you to talk to some of the moms who feel stuck, who feel as if if I make this one decision, if I leave this job, if I pull my kids out of school, I'm going to ruin them. Talk to some of the moms who just feel stuck and we just end up not doing anything.
Yeah, stuck is a place where the enemy wants you. Stuck is a place where you think there's no other option. And I've been there so many times, miserable at different clients, just feeling like, oh, I can't get out because my family is depending on me to pay the mortgage or whatever it is. But that's not true. Let's talk about reality. We live in America. We have freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
You are not a tree. Move. Whether that's a micro thing, whether that's signing up for therapy to help you talk about future goals and help you get unstuck, do it. It is worth digging out of that space because you never know what's on the other side. And the enemy doesn't want to have you see what's on the other side. So, of course, he's going to keep you in that place. Because guess what happens when we're in that place? We go to our vices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shopping, overeating, overthinking. If you're single, dating app, whatever it is. I mean, and so get in the word and pray and make those micro steps. So tomorrow I'm going to apply to 5 LinkedIn jobs, or I'm going to make a Facebook post to my friends and say, is anyone hiring in HR? I literally saw a lady, she's getting out of the Navy after 15 years. And she's on one of our neighborhood groups saying, I'm looking for a job in HR and I am getting out of the Navy. And I looked at the comments to see if anyone actually said anything. She had 8 different offers. She said, email me, ping me. Yes, I'm hiring. And I thought, I have never put myself out there like that. I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like, oh, I don't want people to know I'm down. I don't want people to know I need a job or I need a client. Very, very like, I guess, prideful or whatever. But yeah, that's my nugget.
Wow, that's good. I love what you said. I'm sorry if I just want to just reiterate that again. The enemy wants us stuck. When we're stuck, we can't get to the other side and get to what God wants us to do. Let me ask you, if your kids, or if any kids were listening right now to this interview, what would you want them to hear?
I want them to hear that God loves you, Jesus loves you, and your parents care a lot. And they're trying their best to figure out this world that we really don't understand post-COVID. And it's been a wild ride, and some of us are tired. And we have to have grace with each other and encourage each other. And it's also taking time sometimes off your own needs as a kid. Oh, it's not fair. I can't watch YouTube. It's not fair. I can't do this. And just do something for one of your siblings or your mom, or make a lunch. And so my son texted me the other day. He's like, Mom, I'm heating up lunch. Do you want me to heat up anything? I'm like, oh, that was nice. He hasn't done that before. So that was like really cool. So I guess because we're just trying to be more of a family unit, that we're helping each other. But even if your parents aren't starting that, maybe you could start that trend. Or even if you want to homeschool, research it for your mom. Your mom's busy. Help your mom out. You have the computer. Be a part of the family unit. Don't always think about individual things.
Oh, wow. I got chills on that one. I love that. Maria, I love our conversation today. And I mean, we can literally sit here and talk forever, but I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the time. Before I completely let you go, let us know where we can find you. If we say, you know what, I love what we heard today, I need to at least sit down with Maria, have a conversation and see what my options are.
Yeah, absolutely. So find me on Instagram. I love Instagram, the Maria Manfredi. That's where I'm at. I have a link in bio. I'm going to continue to build on that. Direct message me if you want to reach out. I'm here. I'm going to start offering maybe some one-on-one coaching sessions like I do for the regulatory side and the contract side, just to help moms out. And I'm going to add some free resources. Like I said, I'm going to have the Fiverr free download, electronic download, things like that. So I'm going to have some resources there that are free. And then of course, we're all in it to hustle and make money, but I think this is my calling to help you be successful. So of course there might be some other programs that I might upcharge a little bit, but I think in a fair price. And I'm just so excited for the future for us as women. We were meant for such a time as this. Literally, we can bake bread and also help make money for our family via the computer. women, I'm sure 200 years ago, be like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
take advantage of that and have flexibility. Hopefully, we pray for that,
Yeah.
and take advantage of it. So
I love that so much. Okay. And ladies, I will definitely leave all Maria's information in the description below. And for my editing team, if we could just always, have it running across the bottom as well, so people can click on that link and contact Maria. Maria, I want to ask you before I let you go, it's ringing in my head. It's not the question I was going to ask you, but I want you to leave some of our listeners before we press play. You said you were listening. You had your Bible open to Proverbs 31. I want you to leave us a message to take with us throughout the week.
I want to pray that you find your way to be unstuck and a supernatural nugget pops in from this conversation and throughout the week and you feel inspired. So I encourage you to open up your Bible to Proverbs 31. And what God tells us is she's not sitting and sleeping in until noon and just waiting for opportunity. All right. So she's waking up before the wife in the story is waking up before her children and her household. And it's just making sure we're doing the due diligence to pray and to hone in on the Lord and what he's saying and having those quiet times and helping our husbands lead, right? Encouraging that role and flip the script on this whole feminist, like women can do it all and make the money and take care of the kids. So Proverbs 31 actually says she has servants and helpful hands. So I go back to that point of we can't do it all, the laundry thing. There are laundry services. I have a very trustworthy housekeeping service, but they're good at it. When I try to clean my house, I'm like, oh, I can never do it as good as them. So like utilizing our tools, let's utilize chat GPT. I'm going to put a guide for that too. So I encourage you to read Proverbs 31 and look at the type of wife and try to mirror that every day. And that's kind of my compass where I get off track because of society and Instagram, everything's so shiny and want to do it all. I'm like, oh, okay, this is how it should be done. This is a noble wife. This is focus on your family. And
I love that. I love that. Hold on. Can I just highlight this real quick? Something Maria said. Maria, you're gonna have to give me that exact verse because I want to go back and read it. When you said he will provide us helping hands, right? And this is everything that you have been talking about, from your consulting business to utilizing ChatGPT to knowing that there's other homeschool communities, and everything that you have said. Oh my goodness, it's like this is confirmation. God does not want us to do it all by ourselves.
Yes, because I think when I used to read that verse, I thought, oh my gosh, like Lord, that's a lot, because she's buying garments, she's making garments, she's making business deals, buying land.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But no, she focuses on her skills, her strengths, and then outsources the rest and utilizes free tools and focuses on her priorities, which is her family, and the rest is just noise.
Read the whole Proverbs 31 if you hadn't had a refresher. But I do want to know that scripture. Which one is it? It's Proverbs 31 verse.
Proverbs 31, start at verse 10.
Okay.
And she talks about,
because I'm with this helping hands, because a lot of us, sometimes we feel guilty because we are getting help and because, we may resource out things or, but I'm such a believer in the fact that we ask for help. God gives it to us. He sends us the help. And sometimes we're just, oh, I'm not going to take it. Oh, I'm not going to do it.
It's Proverbs 31, 15.
15.
She rises also while it is still night and gives food to her household and portions to her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. So it's proving that she has the maidens behind her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with her toil, with her money, she's able to feed her servants.
Yeah.
And so if you continue to read through that, I mean, it goes into it.
I love it. Read the whole thing. Ladies, give us your feedback. We want to hear it. Put it in the description below. We do not have to be superwoman. God has given us helper. He's made us a helper. And as everything that Maria has been talking about today, whether you're homeschooling your children or not, or just letting them watch you work, they are learning. They are your helpers. Come on.
Absolutely.
Look.
That is the nugget that we need to leave, because no wonder the families back in the day with 5 kids, 12 kids made it happen. Listen, we're sending our kids off to school. They're sitting in the desk all day. But guess what? They get to be home and be our helpers, which is, I believe, how God intended. They're learning how to run a household. My son is learning how to be a good husband, a good helper when his wife has babies, right?
Yeah.
So it blows my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so less tired. I'm so less stressed because my kids are here to fold their laundry. I don't have to wait till 5. Excuse, because it'll be like, oh, well, we have practice, and then, oh, it's bedtime, and then it's all on you again.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it's meant to be.
No, it's not. Ooh, look, we got, okay. All right. Okay, Maria. I love it so much, Maria. I want to thank you so much for coming and pouring that as well. I love your spirit. I love your personality. I love your willingness to be a witness, and you're not a gatekeeper. You don't believe in God showing you one thing and you're not turning around and giving it back to other people. I hope, if anything, ladies, you're listening to this, I hope you take some of these things that Maria said and run with it. And as she said, don't be afraid to reach out to her and ask her. I don't think that she would withhold anything from you. But I want to thank you so much, Maria. Thank you for coming on. You were a blessing to have here at the Well today. So
absolutely.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Woman Witness podcast on the Woman Witness TV network. Thank you so much to my special guest, Maria. You were amazing. Again, we'll leave all her information in the description below. Follow her. Definitely reach out to her. Leave comments. Let us know your thoughts. All right. And perhaps you were chosen for such a time as this to write, to tell your story, your truth. Until next time. Bye, y'all.